All praises of Most High God, by Hashem Shai, all glory on earth. Um, Today, this Sabbath, Holy Sabbath day is part two. Uh, um, who the people of God are, part two. We started last week. Was basically an overview. We gave you like some of the prophecy with history, what we continue to do. Um, Last week I read this to you, but I didn't go to the website to actually prove that was part in my website. Uh, this is the first part of the tablet says proof from the U.S. government and others. This is basically it's not even an article; it's an archive document. And if I can show you that, this is you can see if you can link the domain on top. It's nixonlibrary.gov. Nixonlibrary.gov. If I go on top of the document, you can see that on top of the document, this is an actual document, an official document. You can see it says the White House, Washington, Tuesday, January 28, 1969. So this document, and you can see signature of it, and there's presidential signature, and this document is also notarized. This is an official document, and then you can see the date that it was signed is January 29, 1969. That's when this document is. So it is definitely not only it is an official document, but it was signed and dated. Signed and dated. So this is a document you can find if you go to nixonlibrary.gov. That's one source, one witness that has that same document. But this document, this is the official document actually. This is just a scan of it, of the document. This is a scan of it. And then this is the second site, official site that have this document. So if you can see on top, it says on top, 2001, 2009 state.gov. So again, this is another official website that has that same document. Uh, you can see here, it is the U.S. Department of State. So it's not just a regular website. It is the U.S. Department of State archive, so which have the same document, and then you can click here to see the PDF of it. So if I click on PDF, so on that same website, it takes me, I guess the PDF is not working, but it is on the official government website. This document is in the official government website. So it is an official document. It is this document right here. And then as you can see here, this is the actual document, the original document where they just scan it. Again on nixonlibrary.gov. And the reason why I want to talk about this document and then to show you that when we say we are the people of God, the Israeli, the people that call themselves Israeli and Jewish people, they're not the real Jews. And then to prove that, the U.S. government knows that we are the real Jews, and then there's document in the government website that actually tell us that we are the real Jews. So that's what the document will prove. First, let me go on my site. So I put it proof from the U.S. government and other sources. So I put exactly where the U.S. government said, and then I put the source right here. This is a 2001, 2009 state.gov library, and then this is where you get the actual document. And then on the nixonlibrary.gov site, also you get the documents there too. So this is what this is. And then I'll read it in the document. So you can see that in the document, it says exactly the same thing. So this is, again, it's a U.S. government, two different U.S. government, official government website. Bafia, 3,000 square foot miles, 4.6 million. Colonel Ojukwu, 35 British trained Israel playboy preside over the popular support and the military morals of a people and convinced that the defeat means extension. The Igbos, that's the point of me showing this document. It says the Igbos, which is the Igbos. The Igbos is the same thing as you can say Igbo or Igbos or Igbos. So the Igbos are the wandering Jews in West Africa. So that's the point of the document. The Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. The Igbos are the wandering. It doesn't say the Igbo are some of the wandering Jews. It doesn't say the Igbo may be the wandering Jews. It says the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. They are gifted, aggressive, westernized. So that's the problem. They've been westernized. So even the one that westernized them tell you they are westernized. So they are westernized, just the same thing too as the so-called black people here in the United States, in Haiti, wherever they are, we've been westernized. So it's the same way too. It tell you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa, gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envied and resented. The world Jews, it doesn't matter where we are envied and we are resented. We are especially by the number one the number one group that envied us and resent us is the Jewish people, the so-called Jewish people, the Israeli people. They are the number one group that resent us and hated us, and this is the reason why everything they do is surround us, right? But mostly despised by the mass of their neighbors. In the Federation, they have fought well by African standard against heavy odds. The cynical public relationship use of the starvation have been brilliant. So this is what the document says. So this is the part of the document I cut and posted in here. So now let's go to the official document to show you that it says exactly the same thing. So this is the official document. And then you can see that in the document it say White House, Washington, Tuesday, January 28, 1969. That's when this document was created, but it was signed by the president and January 29th, 1969. So the second day, it was created in 1928, and then on the 1929, it was signed by the president, which makes it official. So it is an official document. It is an official document here in the U.S. government website. So let's go to this passage where it says shows you exactly the same thing too. So that's what I'm saying is the U.S. government knows that we are the real Jews. So if you see that the same document I copied, same exactly document I copied, I need to take a screenshot of this part. I need it. Afia, 3,000 square foot mile, 4 to 6 million. Corono Juksu, same. It says exactly the same thing. 35 British train Swire playboy preside over the popular support and military morals of a people envied and that defeat mean extension. See again, the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. So it's exactly that what I copied from here is what I posted on the website. So this official document, this official government signed by the President of the United States tell you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. They are gifted, they are aggressive, but they've been westernized, right? They've been westernized. At best, they are envied and resented, but mostly despised by the mass of the neighbors. So this is what this official document from the U.S. government says. So that's one witness, NixonLibrary.gov. And then Nixon anyway was the one who signed this document. And here the second, this is also to, and this U.S. Department of State, it is a .gov website. So it's not just a regular website, it's a .gov website and another official website. So this is another official website which also have that same document, but without seeing the signatures and so forth, right? If I go again to the same paragraph here, the same paragraph again, the Igbo are the wandering Jews of West Africa, gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envied and resented, but mostly despised by the mass of the neighbors. So it tell you exactly the same thing. So again, I gave two witnesses of that same document, which I posted on my website to prove that. I mean, people don't understand that the depth of this and the importance of this, right? Because the mass believe that the so-called Jewish people are the chosen people. I mean, even what's happening right now prove that they are not God people. I mean, if you have some kind of intelligence, if you haven't even a little bit of intelligence, what's happening right now in Israel, what they've been doing, and so forth, prove that these people are not God people, right? And then the history shows that they're not God people, even without using the Bible. Even if you just like view their own history and everything they've done and everything what they're about, you can tell that they're not God choosing. Even the way the people look, even just by the look alone, shows that they're not God people, right? So the Igbos, which I prove, they got people. Now we know the Igbos are mainly in West Africa, but let's find out what happened to the Igbos. Not just the Igbos, right? So Igbos in history, major enslavement of the Igbo kidnapped during village raids. So right. So we know that there were major enslavement that happened to the Igbos. So now we find out the Igbos are the wandering Jews in West Africa. They are the wandering Jews of West Africa. Um and then now we're learning that the Igbo, they were kidnapped and enslaved. The transatlantic slave trade, right? So and then now disposal Igbo people were dispersed mainly to the British West Indies, of which Jamaica received the highest amount of enslaved Igbos. So Jamaica has a high amount of Igbo people, right? Enslaved Igbos were dispersed Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, and the United States. So you find Igbo in Jamaica, Barbados, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, and United States. So and then again, these same Igbo people in a document, official document of the United States, tell you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. So the Igbo, this document on Nixon Library.gov, signed by the president in January 29, 1969, this official document tell you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. And then if you go to prophecy, God said that His people is gonna be scattered throughout the world, and then also to Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68 that God is gonna disperse us throughout the earth, and we're gonna be enslaved on ships, slave ship, and we're gonna be sold as bondmen and bondwomen, right? So now this prophecy is has been fulfilled. So now we're learning, we're trying to find out who are the real Jews. Are they the people that call themselves Jewish, Israeli, or are they the so-called black people, the Negro that everybody hates? Has the Bible tell you that the real Jew people hates them, right? So that everybody disregard. Doesn't matter where we go, where we are, among any nation that we live, they hate us, right? So now, and again, you have again the Nixon Library.gov that tell you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. It doesn't say some; it tell you they are the wandering Jews. And then also the State.gov website, which is another official website, U.S. Department of State archive. Also, U.S. Department of State archive also have that exactly same document, and then and that same document, and then if you read it says the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. They're gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envied and resented. So again, we see another proof that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa, but the Igbos are not in just West Africa, right? Because why? Because the Igbos were enslaved. Why they were enslaved and they were dispersed throughout the world. So mainly in Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, and the United States. So the Igbos, you find them in the United States, you find them in Haiti, you find them in Cuba, you find them in Tobago. The same Igbo that the official government website tell you that these people are the people of God. These people are the real Jews. These people are the real Jews. So, and then this is why, and then I can feel like in my family line, my father's line lineage, his their last name. When I search my father's last name, their last name goes back to West Africa. Because Haiti, Haiti was the first country that won the independence. So it's actually a lot of the people in Haiti, a lot of the slave in Haiti, didn't really get to be fully slave, right? Their name didn't get to get changed like all these other slave, like the slave here in the United States and Jamaica and other country, where the master had a chance to change the last name. So a lot of slave in Haiti, their slave master didn't really get a chance to change their last name, right? Because we beat our slave master, right? We beat our slave master and took over. So when I research my last name goes back exactly to West Africa. Like for an example, so-called African American or another nation, when they search their last name, it goes back to a white man. It go back to one of the European last name, right? A lot of us, when our last name go back to a European last name, like a European white man. But my last name goes back to West Africa, which means that I know that. And then my father's father, my grandfather was he was a priest. He was a voodoo priest. So the voodoo priest, it's normally the only way you can be a voodoo priest is passed down from father to son, from father to son, from father to son. That's how it is. So those voodoo priests also their line can go back to West Africa because voodoo was created in West Africa in 200 something AD, 200 something AD, right? So um, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, which is the island, and the United States is full of Igbo slaves. Some some recorded populations of people of African descent on the Caribbean island recorded in about 2,000 Igbos in Trinidad and Tobago in 18th centuries. So that was a long time ago. So now you have no idea how many Igbos, because they have their descendants and kids and so forth, right? Saint Kitts, Guyana, and so forth, right? The Igbo were dispersed to Barbados in a large number. Oluda, Ikrano, this is a Hebrew name. A famous Igbo author, Ibaitionist and formerly enslaved person was dropped off there after being kidnapped from his hometown near the birth of Bafia. So the same way Bafia, right? Let's go to the document. Bafia 3,000 square foot. The Igbo are the one doing this. So that's why this guy knew he was Igbo because it was exactly from Bafia, from that actual document that's on a government and state website, right? So and then there was a big population of Igbos in Virginia. Uh, at his time, 40%, 44% of the 90,000 African disembarking in the island between 1751 and 1775 were from the birth, I mean the bite, the link between Barbados and Bight of Bafia had begun in the mid 17th century, which half of the African captives arriving on the island originated from there. So originated from Bafia, which is if you go again to this official document on the U.S. State of Department, U.S. Department of State. It is a gov.gov website. So I have two .gov website, Nixon Library .gov website and the U.S. State Department gov.gov website. We say the Igbos are the one Jews of West Africa. The Igbos are the one Jews of West Africa. Haiti. So this is where I was born in Haiti, right? Haiti had many enslaved people. They still in the Creole saying of Nuse Igbo, which means that we are Igbos. So Nuse Igbo, we are Igbo. Um, Aspects of the Haitian culture that exhibited this can be seen in Loa, which means that that's the voodoo. The Loa is the voodoo, which what I mean my father. My grandfather was a voodoo priest, so which is originated in West Africa in 200 something AD, was created in West Africa by the Ubo people and the Igbo people and so forth. And then also the Ubo people are Israelites, right? The Israelite part of the Jews and everything, and then you have the Ashantis and so forth. Haitian law created by the created by the in the voodoo religion. So the voodoo religion, which is Vodun, which is supposed to be Vodun, Vodun, not voodoo, Vodun, and were created in West Africa by the same these same people. And also Jamaica, they have the history of these Igbo peoples, Igbo slave that's in Jamaica, and then you see there's a grave, the grave of enslaved Igbos, 1800 to 1864, and in the United States from the 1600 and so forth, there was a huge traffic of enslaved Igbo in the state of Virginia, Maryland, and so forth. So when the Hebrew Israelites, when we say we are God chosen people, you know, not only that we have history, well, no, first of all, not only that we have the Bible. Bible is our number one source. Bible is our number one source. The one true truth, the one true credit of our history is the Bible. The Bible is the number one source of our history, right? The Bible. So the Bible is one. You have history two, you have archaeology three, and then now not only that you have all these things, also now you have documents from the government of the United States. So that's what I'm saying is the United States knows that we are the chosen people. The United States, this is the reason why the United States, they have to continue to support Israel. Israelis. They have to continue to support the so-called Jewish people because they're in crafty counsel with them. Because if the United States treat us the way they treated the Jewish people, if the United States tell us we God people, we must repent and keep God's commandment, they go His kingdom. His kingdom is done. Like all so-called white people, their reign is over. So the goal of the United States is to keep us in the dark. That's why when we on YouTube, we on TikTok, we see that our channel doesn't matter. If I was gossiping, if I was gossiping, if I was talking about the religion of this world, like I'm a so-called Christian of this world, Adventist, a Pentecostalist, or whatever religion of this current world, this live will be full of people, right? This life will be full of people, right? If I say God love everybody, God is for everybody, this life will be full of people. But because I'm not like making a fool of myself, right? I'm not degrading women, our women. I'm not talking bad about my people. I'm uplifting my people. I'm telling my people, you special. You are God chosen people. You gotta repent and keep coming God's commandment. You can see that TikTok doesn't push the channel. TikTok don't push the live. You can see that people who come to the live, they don't stay and watch, right? They come and then they leave. They don't stay and listen to these things because people don't like the truth. People don't want to hear the truth. People want to hear gossip. People want to hear gossip. People don't want to hear a joke. They want you to make fun and be funny and make a fool of yourself. That's why people, this wicked world we live in now, this is what people wants to see. This is what people wants to hear. And then YouTube, same thing too. YouTube don't push the video. They block it, right? So the goal is for these so-called nation and these white people in power, is for them not to push whatever we're doing, because if they come to the knowledge, if people, I have proof uh, on proof that I'm showing that you cannot deny that we are the God chosen people. Right? We are God chosen people. This is the United States. This is the state government website that tells you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. It didn't say the Jewish people that's in Israel right now are the wandering Jews of West Africa. This is a signed document. This is a signed document by the United States President of the United States. This is a signed document that was signed in January 29, 69. Signed document by Nixon. You go to nixonlibrary.gov. This is a signed document by the United States. Let's go on top of the document. Uh, Here, White House, Washington, Tuesday, January 28, 1969. And then and January 28, 69, it was signed by Nixon. It was signed. And then if you go down to that same document, that was signed by the President of the United States. And then if you read it, it says Bafia. I'm not gonna read this part. It says the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. It doesn't say that the Igbo are some of the wandering Jews. It doesn't say the Igbos are part of the wandering Jews. It said the Igbo. It doesn't say the Jewish people. It said the Igbos of West Africa, gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envied and resented, but mostly despised by the mass of the neighbors. So this is a state document, a government signed document on the nixonlibrary.gov. So it's an official document that was signed by the President of the United States. And then you can see that each page has been signed and dated. Each page has been signed and dated. So it's a real official document. And then when you go to Wikipedia, and it shows you that the Igbo were dispersed among the Caribbean, the United States, and so forth. The Igbos were dispersed among the Caribbean and so forth. The same Igbos that the signed document by the President of the United States tell you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. So the government of the United States know exactly who the real Jews are. They know who are the real Jews. This is why you got to do research. This is why you got to do research. The information is in front of you. The information is there for you. You just need to read. This is why they taught us not to read. This is why they made us afraid of reading. This is why they're giving you tools that does things for you. But for those that has been chosen by God, not elected, but maybe chosen, but elect or not choose, whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter what you bring, what technology you bring. We're just gonna use it to increase our knowledge. We're just gonna use it to make things easier for teaching moments and teaching purposes, to wake up the 12 tribe. You don't. The thing is with Esau. The thing is with the so-called white nation. They don't hide anything. They literally don't hide anything. They do hide something, but most of the thing they document everything that they do. God put it in the spirit to document everything. Even like you see, the I've seen thing that's going on around right now. All the evil that they were doing, they have documents of it that they recorded themselves. They have videos and so forth. God put it in their spirit. Whatever they do, they record it. They take pictures of it. They document it. Why? Because it will be used against them. It will be used against them. So it's just us to go and then research this information and get this information and to read it. That's all it takes. It's just a little bit of time for us to do and read these things, right? So I'm connecting. I'm giving you connection. Before I go to more before I go to more prophecies, I'm giving you more connection. You're learning that the United States on a signed document by the President of the United States. This is an archive document, an official document under nixonlibrary.gov. If you go to nixonlibrary.gov, type EBOs, and you'll find this document. You type EBOs, you will find this document. In this document, it said the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. They gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envious and resented. The same Igbos were dispersed through the slave trade. The same Igbo were dispersed to Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, the United States. So the same Igbos that the United States of America on an official document signed by the President of the United States, who tell you that these Igbos are the Wanderungers of West Africa. These people were enslaved and dispersed to Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, and the United States. And then them same people they talking from Bafia right here. These people were mainly from Bafia. Barbados, Bafia, both of Bafia had begun in the mid 17th century, which half of the African captive arrived in the island originated from there. So um, half of the African captive that was captive that got here in the United States, they tell you enslaved, dispersed to Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, and the United States. Half of the slave people are Igbos from West Africa. The same Igbos on the signed document, official document, signed by the United States, a president of the United States, Nixon, President Nixon. You can see that the White House, Washington, Tuesday, January 28, 1969. It was signed by Nixon, January 28, 69. So this is an official document signed by the President of the United States. It is on the nixonlibrary.gov. So it is on the official website. It is an official document. That same official document, you go down to it. This document tell you that the same people from Bafia that was enslaved and dispersed to Barbados, to Cuba, to Tobago, to Haiti, to United States, they said the Igbos, Bafia, the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. It doesn't say the Igbos are some of the wandering Jews of West Africa. It tells you the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. Gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envied and resented, but mostly despised by the mass of their neighbors in the Federation. So that's one source, Nixon.gov. Then again, you go to an official website, U.S. Department of State, 2001-2009.state.gov, another official website. Another official website has that same document, but instead of the document, the other one you saw the document, it was basically scanned, right? And then they created a PDF of it, so it's an actual document. This one, it was typed. This year was that same document that was typed on another official government website. And then it has exactly the same document. And then this is right here what I highlighted. This has give you a whole history of what happened. But my focus is this. The Igbos are wandering Jews of West Africa. That's my focus to show you that, because remember that the topic of the class, I mean, of this video is basically we are the real Jews. Who are the real Jews? And then I have archaeology, history. My number one source is the Bible, and then also official documents. So, as the Bible say in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, that the real children of God, the real Israelite, will be dispersed throughout the world through slave ship. They will be sold for bondmen and bondwomen, right? So you already learned that. Making connection for you. Then I'll go through prophecy, and then to show you some of those curses and Deuteronomy chapter 28. On top, it says the majority of enslaved Igbo were kidnapped during village raid. So that's the prophecy being fulfilled. Enslaved Igbo were dispersed to Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, and the United States. So the same group of people that the United States of America said that they are the wandering Jews of West Africa. So these same people are in Haiti, they're in Cuba, they're in Tobago, they're in Trinidad, they're in Barbados, they're here in the United States. So when you see a Hebrew Israelite on the street claiming they are the chosen people of God, this is why we can use the Bible so proudly. Have you ever seen a Jewish people on the street with Bible fulfilling prophecy, standing up for the Torah, trying to find the other tribe that has been lost? Because in Israel, they tell you that the people that's in Israel now are Judah and Levi. So where are the other 10 tribes? If only Judah and Levi, you only claim to be Judah and Levi. Where are the other 12 tribes? Why are you not trying to wake up the other 10 tribes? Why are we the one who's waking up the other tribes? Why are we the one who stand strong for the Torah and the Tanakh? Why we the only one who can go to the Tanakh and to the Torah and prove everything that we're saying? Why are we the only one who believe in it? If you the chosen, if it is your book, you're supposed to be the one on the street. You're supposed to be the one every time we speak to you, you go to the Torah and the Tanakh. It's your book. It's your history. Why are you so afraid of the book that's supposed to be your history? Why are we the only one who's so proud of the book? And then we did not know of the book. We was not raised learning of the book. We were raised learning the doctrine of devils, religion. Now you have these young men standing proud on the street, standing bold, claiming to be Jews, claiming to be Israelites. Not only we claim to it, we prove it, right? We can prove it. So now that's what's happening. So now you're learning that the Igbo is not just the Igbos. You have the Aruba people. They are the world chosen. They have their own history. They know. They know the Aruba people know that they, they believe they some of Ephraim, but they lost that history. Part of them can definitely be Ephraim, because when the 12 tribes split, they become two kingdoms, northern and southern kingdoms. So you have the northern kingdom, which is Judah, um, Levi, and Benjamin, and then you have a little bit of the other tribe who stayed with them. So which is through history you have proof of it. There were other tribe that was with them, and then the Levite left all the other tribe and came and joined Judah. So if some of them claim to be Ephraim, they probably are Ephraim, but most of them are Jews. It's either Judah or Levi or Benjamin. So the Yoruba people, they have the history where they can tie it back to Moses. They can tie it back to the actual Levites. So, but you have other tribes also too that's in West Africa, the Ashanti people, the Tutsi people, the Zafin people, the you have Jews in Mali's. So there are a lot of different tribes in Africa also who claim to be Jews, not only the Igbos, not only the Igbos, right? So all of them fulfilled the prophecy of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. They fulfilled this prophecy. So now you have the Igbo peoples who is now officially an official document of the United States who understand that the Igbo peoples are the real Jews. Who understand that the Igbo peoples are the real Jews. So now we have actual document proof, and then which I have shown. And you see that the Haitians are in there. You see that the Cuba is in there, but that doesn't mean all Cuban. If you Cuban, a lot of Cuban can be Jews or can be from the Southern Kingdom, right? A lot of Cuban from the Southern Kingdom, but some of them probably also from the Northern Kingdom and Cuba. But you have a lot of Cuban descent from Spaniard, not the actual native, right? Not the actual people that they enslaved. So those are not Jews. If you can tie your history, if you're from Cuba, you're from one of the islands and so forth, your history go to the slave, not the slave master, then you actually from your father lineage, not your mother lineage, your father lineage, you can tie it back to the slave, not the slave master. You are most likely an Israelite. You are most likely an Israelite. But now I give you official document from a government state website. Two source. NixonLibrary.gov. I gave you, and then I gave you the U.S. Department of State website, which proved that the real Jews, mainly in West Africa, was dispersed through slavery, not the Jewish people, not the Yiddish people. So now let's go to some history, more history to see what happened to the people of God, the chosen people that Moses in the wilderness gave the law and make a covenant with God, make a covenant with these people in the wilderness, right? Um, we in Mexico, we in Cuba, we in Bolivia, we dispersed, we everywhere. We in Colombia, we in Haiti, we in Panama, we in the United States, we in Europe, we in Asia, we in the continent of Africa, we everywhere. Um, the lost tribe of Israel today, Matthew 15:25. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that's the lost sheep of because all of us been lost. As this said, this is an official document that telling you that, you know, the Igbos are the wandering Jews of Africa, gifted, aggressive, westernized. That's how we've been lost. We've been westernized, right? We've been colonized. We've been colonized. We've been westernized. We've been colonized by Esau mainly, and then the Arab, which is Ishmael, the Ishmaelites, and the Edomites. The Edomite and the Ishmaelite are the two major groups in the world who enslaved us, who enslaved us. The Arab people, the white people, the European people is the two main group people that enslaved us, that bought and sold us through slavery. Arab and white people, which is the Ishmaelites and Edomites, according to the Bible. They slaved us. So this is an official document from the United States of America signed by the President Nixon. Signed by President Nixon. Tell you that the Igbo peoples are the wandering Jews of West Africa. They gifted, aggressive, westernized. So they've been colonized. So they colonized. That's why Christ says, I have not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Because they lost, they've been colonized. They don't know who they are. They westernized, meaning that the culture, they're not following their culture anymore. It's just like in Haiti. Haiti no longer practice the culture that it came to the island with after being enslaved by the French, by the Spaniard, by British, by the United States of America. Right now, the culture is carnival. The culture is they celebrating birthday. The culture is Christmas. The culture is literally following the United States, following the people that colonized them. Isaiah 1:3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people does not consider. So the Jewish people in Israel right now are claiming to be the chosen people of God. But you see that in this official document signed by the President of the United States in January 28, 1969, it said the Igbos are the wandering Jews in West Africa. It didn't say the Jewish people. So these people, they know who the true Jews are, who the chosen people are. So here's a prophecy where Isaiah say, an ox who is stupid know his owner. An ass who also another stupid animal know his master crib. He can go back to his masters. But he said, Israel does not know, my people does not even consider. He said the these 12 tribes, they don't even know who they are. They don't even consider. They're not even considering it because we've been treating low. We lost our tradition, we lost our language, we lost our nationality, we lost everything. We've been colonized and westernized. Because we've been colonized and westernized, we don't know who we are. So we don't even consider, like right now, we don't even want our nationality anymore. We don't even want it. We don't even claim it because we've been colonized and westernized. Let's continue. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it will come to pass, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 46. And they will be upon you for a sign and for wonders, and upon your seed forever, because you serve not the Lord your God with joyfulness, with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. So God said that because we break the commandments, because we did not hearken to God, we forsake the law of God, that we say to Moses, everything you say we will do. And not only that, we made the blood covenant with God. So God said that these curses that God put on us, it will be for a sign, for a wonder, on our seed forever. So these curses that is gonna be an indicator to tell us who we are. Right? Once we start doing researching and then trying to find out, once we waking up, find out who we are, and then we can use these curses as a sign and as a wonder to know who we are. The curses again, it fit the back, the Hispanic and the Native Indian. These are the group of people it fits. And not when I say the blacks, I'm not referring to all. I'm sorry, so-called black, the Negroes. The Negroes, whether the Negroes is in the United States, the Negroes in West Africa or part of the continent of Africa, the Negroes in Haiti, the Negroes in Jamaica, Tobago, Barbados, Bahamas, the Negroes in Cuba, the Negroes in Puerto Rico, the Negroes in Dominican Republic. These Negroes I'm experienced with Hispanic, same thing too. And these places that I mentioned, who's been dispersed through slavery, and then the Native Indian. These people, these people who were dispersed through slavery. So now I gave you official documents. Those are official documents, right? You have official documents from different sources. And then I read some of the prophecy to you. You see these people. This is again, as I mentioned, Esau, when he does something, they record it. They always record whatever they do, right? And the Arab too. So these are the people. These are the people. These are the world Jews who's going through courses. I'll read the courses. Let me show you something. This this is 1925. 1925. And this document was 1969. In 1948, in 1948, the fake Jews was established in Israel. They call it Israel, but the actual name is Jerusalem. The actual name is Jerusalem. The fake Jews were established in 1948 in Jerusalem. In 1969, this document was signed by President Nixon. So official document that tells you that in this same official document that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. The Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. So now I have a video in 1929, Jerusalem, before the name was changed to Israel, right? Before the name was changed to Israel, it was Jerusalem, North Africa. Israel is North Africa and Jerusalem. So Jerusalem and North Africa. This is a video that was recorded by Esau. It was recorded by Esau because whenever time white people want to take a land, they always send someone. They send someone a minister. They send someone who's very friendly to study the land, to see what they're wearing, to see the army, to see it's a war tactic. So whenever time they try to take the land or they're gonna send someone, so they study, analyze, and then to see how the people are. So before Jerusalem became Israel in Palestine, where you have the Arab people, which is now the Palestinian, and then you have the Amalekite people, which call themselves now Jewish people, who came together and then destroyed these people. I'm gonna show you in the video, and then took over the land, and then now they call it Israel. So let's click the video to see what kind of people I was living in Israel before the Jewish people in 1948 took over. So let's see. This is my channel, so you can go to my channel and you will see this video also there. So this video shows you can see that you see this is Jerusalem in 1925. Jerusalem in 1925. See the kind of people how they dress, and then you see the kind of people that was living in Jerusalem in 1920 1919 I'm sorry, before the Jewish people took over. See those are the white people that came to record the video. Again, this is Jerusalem before 1948. They don't look like the Palestinian people. They don't look like the people that call themselves Jewish now. They don't look like any of them. So when we read Revelation, chapter 1, verse 14 down, and when we tell you Christ was a dark skinned man, and they tell you, oh, he's from Palestine, and so we know there were brown people that was there. No, they were not brown. They were dark people that were like dark people that was there. So this is before the Palestinian people and the Jewish people were living there. Look at these girls. You see dark people. Even if the video my own is in the video, it's an old video, so it may not show either how dark they are or how bright, but you can tell that these people, they don't have curly hair, they have woolly hair. And you see this girl, they very dark. And then you see how they dress, and then what they have in their neck, the kind of jewelry that's in their neck, and how they dress. They don't look like the type of things that the Palestinian people wear. It looks like the kind of things that West African wear. You're gonna continue to see. This is an actual video. Look at the women. This is Jerusalem before the Jewish took over. Look at the women. Look at how they dress. You can see that the way these women in Jerusalem in 1919, was it 1919? Yes, 1919, 1919 in Jerusalem, before 1948, before the Jewish people took over the land and claimed it to be their land. This is the kind of people that, look at these women, woolly hair, beautiful women. Look at the dress. Look at the way the dress. You see the pattern of the dress? That's West Africa. Those are the people that's in West Africa that dress like that. People in West Africa that dress like that. This is Jerusalem. This is a video that was recorded before the Jewish people took over. You don't see the kind of people now, this modern day, this so-called Palestinian people who they claim the land to be supposed to be belong to them. No, it doesn't belong to them. This is why God is allowing the Jewish people to destroy them right now, because the land don't belong to them. God is gonna use them, and then after that, God is gonna destroy the Jewish people that's in their land too, because the land don't belong to them. So, but the people that the land belong to, here they look like the people in West Africa. The same kind of dress that people wear in Africa is the same kind of dress they wear, and the same kind of jewelry that people wear in West Africa is the same kind of jewelry you see that they wearing. You can see that these people who live in Jerusalem before the Jewish people took over don't look like the modern Jews today. They are dark skinned people. Look at her. Look. You see the pattern of the dress? That's how people in West Africa dress. It's crazy, right? The truth, listen, the truth cannot be hidden. The truth cannot be hidden. Because God tell you all truth will come to life. You will know the truth, and the truth is going to make you free. So when we claim to be the real Jews, we are the real Jews. Look at this woman, beautiful woolly hair. You see the kind of jewels she wearing, how she dressed. Look at this beautiful woolly hair. Likewise, wool hair. Don't I hear some white people say he was born in the Middle East? This is the Middle East, Jerusalem. He was born in the Middle East, right? That's what a lot of white people, the excuse is that he was born in the Middle East. Well, this is people that was born in the Middle East and Jerusalem before the Jewish people took over. This is what they look like. So when we say he was a dark man, and the Bible say we were dark men, we white, you won. Look at that. Look at her. Jerusalem. This is south of Jerusalem. 1919, south of Jerusalem. This is the wall. Absalom grave. This is Jerusalem before 1948, before the fake Jewish people took over. Before they came and pollute the land. Saladin sick. This is Jerusalem. You watching a video of Jerusalem before the Jews took over. A garden in pure Arabic style. This is Jerusalem again. Jerusalem. The land they call Israel nowadays. The Jews call it Israeli, and they call themselves Israel. They call it Israel, and they call themselves Israeli. Not Israelites, because they know they're not Israelites. This is again Jerusalem before the Jews took over. 1920, recorded in 1920, recorded in 1920. You saw the kind of people that live in Jerusalem in 1920. They don't look, their skin, their type, the color, the hair, everything about them do not look like the modern Jews. So when we use, again, the Bible, our number one source, we use archaeology, we use history, and we use government official documents. to prove that we are the will people of God, the chosen people of God, the people that is prophesied in Deuteronomy chapter 28. We're gonna be cursed, and then you're gonna hear some of the curses, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed will you be in the city, cursed will you be in the field. On TikTok, this white man posted, which will take all the black people and send them back to Africa. And then after that, he says something that black people only live in a ghetto. And I responded. I say, yes, black people mostly live in a ghetto. Yes, that's true. But that's a prophecy because we're gonna be cursed in the city. So you actually telling what prophecy says about us. We're gonna be cursed in the city. That's why we live in the ghetto. We curse in the field. We the one who's working in the field. We don't want picking the tobacco. We don't want picking the sugar cane. We don't want picking up the mangoes. We don't want picking up the oranges. We don't want picking up the watermelon. We don't want who's doing all the work in the field. And in our job field, let's say the work field, we curse in there. We last hire, first fire. We are the lowest in terms of salary, average. So when you say that we live in the ghetto, you're exactly talking about this prophecy. Deuteronomy 28:16. First will you be in the city, first you will be in the field. It doesn't matter we are. We in Haiti, you in Cuba, you in Jamaica. It doesn't you in Dominican Republic, you in Puerto Rico, you curse. The people that prospering in Haiti, the people that's prospering in Jamaica, the people that are prospering in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, wherever it is, they're not these people. The one that prospering is the slave master, is the people that come live among you. But the people are suffering. It doesn't matter where we are, what country. It doesn't matter if we can in control of it or if we here in the United States under a government country. You curse in the city, you curse in the field, right? Right here, you in city, you curse. You don't want to go into the curses in the city, and then you see that is the Hispanic, the Native Indian, and the so-called Negroes that are cursing the city. You don't see the Chinese people. When I go shop, I don't see Chinese people. When I go to the ghetto, I don't see Chinese people, but I do see Chinese people nail salon. I see Chinese people restaurant. I see the East Indian gas station. I see the East Indian and the Arab corner stores, but they don't live there. Nobody have no idea what they do, but they are in our community, still stealing and taking our money. Course in the city, course in the field, picking the tobacco field. We the one picking up the tobacco. We the one course in the field right here in the city. Curse you in prison. You the one doing the work, working for a penny a day in prison. Course you be in the field. Course you be in the city. Slavery time. This is what the master used to do to us. This is a screenshot of a movie, but this is actual history. This is a movie of actual history or what they do to us. Deuteronomy 28:17-18. Curse will be your basket in your store. Curse will be the fruit of your body, which is like your children, your seed, and the fruit of your land, increase of your kind, and the flock of your sheep. So it doesn't matter what you do. You plant vineyard, they will be cursed. They will not harvest. They will not bear fruit by the amount supposed to. Most of the time, we lost money. I remember because when I was in so-called Haiti, when my father used to farm, sometimes when they farm, they lose money. They lose money. What they put in, they don't come out. You be lucky to get what you put in a lot of the time. But now it's worse. Now you have these different things that killing your plants. And then even the animal, I went and I saw this fly I have never seen before that's eating the cars alive. And it's hard for them to get rid of it. So it doesn't matter what you do, God say you're not gonna prosper. So you're gonna be cursed. So those are the signs and a wonder for us. Look, doesn't matter. You be cursed in the city, you be cursed in the field. Deuteronomy chapter 28:19. Cursed will you be when you come in, and cursed will you be when you go out. So when you come to your house, when you go out outside of your house, you're gonna be cursed. This guy went outside his house. This guy. And then he didn't come back home for something that stupid he did that was simple. He should not get killed for, not even arrest for. But this is what ended up happening to him. Look at Esau. You see, Esau's on top of him. His hand in his pocket. His hand is inside his pocket, and then the guy with the camera didn't do justice. He didn't walk around to show you the other guy that was also on top of his lungs, on his chest. But look at him. Look at him. You see, he has no fear. Look at his face. He's like, yeah, I'm doing it. There's nothing you can do about it. Look, his hand is in his pocket. His knee is in his neck. And look at his face. Look at his face. You see his face? He barely can breathe. But his hand is in his pocket, his knee is in his neck, breaking his neck, cutting his lungs. That's why it says, when you go out, cursed will you be when you go out, cursed you will be when you come in. Cursed you will be when you go out, cursed you will be when you come in. It doesn't matter, you outside of a house, you're going to have fear. You come in your house, you're going to have fear. Again, he is coming from work, coming to his own house. She shot him. So it doesn't matter you in your house. You don't think you're gonna be afraid. How many times there's recently where the black women who called the cop because she heard a noise. What happened to her? She got shot by the cop. So when God say curse you will be when you come in, curse you when you go out, we are the one who's aligning with these prophecies. So which prove that we are the real God chosen people. Curse you when you go out, curse you when you go in. He goes out and he got killed. Huh? Knee on his neck for 9 minutes. And then he comes in from work and then this cop shot him and killed him. So we fulfilling the prophecy. And then look at Emmett Till. Barely recognizable. He went out and then this white lady claimed that he was whistling at her, which is not a crime to be whistling. Even like say yes, he was whistling at her. That's not a crime. But look at his face, unrecognizable. And then that same lady who claimed that he whistled at her before her death, she said yes, he did not whistle at me. That never happened. She confessed, and she still didn't go to jail. They said she was too old to go to jail. But look at what's his name again? Cosby. Cosby was not too old to go to jail. They sent Cosby to jail. I think Cosby was older than her. And they sent Cosby to jail. But this white lady, they say she was too old to go to jail. Even though she found guilty of what she did and caused this young man to be tortured to death, they say she was too old to go to jail. They say she was too old to go to jail. Let's continue. Let's continue to. First you be go out, first you go in. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 20. The pastors don't do these things. The pastors don't go and then show you these things. The pastor can't, because the pastor is of this world. These pastors are of this world. They do everything that the world does. They celebrate birthday, Christmas, everything that the world does, they do it. They follow a multitude to do evil. This pastor can't do what we do. Deuteronomy 28, verse 20. The Lord will send upon you curse, vexation, rebuke, and all that you set of your hand unto for to do until you be destroyed, until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your doing, whereby you have forsaken me. That's what we did. We broke the commandments of God. So God is doing all these things to us, right? The Willie Lynch letter you gotta read. You gotta read the Willie Lynch letter. You gotta read that. When you read the Willie Lynch letter, you'll truly understand how evil these so-called white people are. Esau. You'll understand how evil Esau is. We reverse nature by burning and pulling and pulling. This is from the this passage is from the Willie Lynch letter. We reverse nature by burning and pulling a civilized end apart and bull whipping the order of the point to death, all in her presence. So they do it that in the presence of the woman. So they take the strongest black men, so-called black men, strongest so-called black men, in the presence of the women and the children. So what they do, they burn that person, they pull that person, and they bull whipping that person in the presence near to death, in the presence of the woman. Psychology. They working something in her mind to show her that the so-called black man is nothing. You cannot depend on him. He won't be able to protect you. We are the master. We can do whatever we want to do to them at any time. And then training the mind of the women to go against us, to not fear us, to fight us in the household. This is what that book did and what the people do. By her being left alone, unprotected, and that's what they're still doing. They're still doing that now. They in this modern day, they're not torturing us the way they used to torture us in front of the woman. Now they have the political way of doing it, right? By giving the woman high job, giving a woman education, giving the woman welfare, giving the woman Section 8, and then have the women push the men out so they can get Section 8, they can get welfare, they can get medical health, right? So they doing it this way now. They not. They used to do it by torture. White people used to do that to us by torturing us, but now they have policies in place. Policies in place now that does that automatically. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the audio caused her to move from the psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. You don't know how deep that is. How deep that is. And this is why the so-called black women right now are so like they're animals. They don't respect their husband, their men. They don't regard their men. They don't honor their men. They don't do it. And then you can see that all the nation, the black women are the worst of all nations. And it's so true. Black women disrespect to black men in every way worse than any other nation because of Willie Lynch letter, because of they did train, because of the policy in place nowadays that set forth. And it is also a prophecy too. And as I go through the prophecy, you're gonna see that is a prophecy. God said the women they're gonna do that. Also the black men. So when God said He's gonna curse you, this is something that was done to us. So this is when the white people give us purposely gave us syphilis. Observe the nature history of untreated syphilis in black population, but the subject were completely unaware and were instead told they were receiving treatment for bad blood when in fact they were receiving no treatment at all but syphilis. This is when the government of the United States conspired to destroy the black men. So they have the abortion to destroy the black men. They destroy the black men by used to torturing them in front of the women. So not only that, government to destroy the black men, they give them syphilis. And then they said that look at this, it's always the woman. They use the woman, you see? It's the woman in the background that's helping the white men. It's always the woman. Does you see the Biden administration understood that very well by using the so-called black women to destroy our community? The Biden administration understood that extremely well, using the black women to destroy our community. It's the same thing white people has always do is using the black women. So they know full well that they say deceiving black people men, telling them that they're giving them a treatment for bad blood. Meanwhile, they're giving them syphilis. It's the same thing with AIDS. They did the same thing with AIDS. But all these things come into pass because of prophecy, because of curse that cursed us. Because as God say above it, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 20, the Lord will send upon you curse, vexation, rebuke, and all that you set up your hand unto to destroy you until you perish. So that's why, guys, remember the reason, remember that the commandment was given to the men for the men to keep. And then the men then make sure uphold it in the house. Because God deal with the men, not the women. Why? Because God say, I call you men. Right? So that's the truth of the Bible. There's videos too. You can watch the video, Deuteronomy chapter 28, 21, 22. The Lord will make the pestilence cleave unto you until you have consumed you from of the land, whither you go have to possess it. The Lord will smite you with a consumption and a fever and with inflammation and extreme burning with the sword, with with blasting and with mildew. They will pursue you until you perish, and your heaven that is over you, your head will be black brass. The heaven that is over you will be brass, and the earth that is under you will be iron. So it doesn't matter what we do. The heaven that's over us, the earth that is under us, is a curse to us in every way. And again, this is why we're matching. Always, it's always us that's matching. Mexican, the Puerto Rican, the so-called native, the so-called African American. We're always matching. We're always fighting for peace, for mercy, for justice. Always the one doing that. Look at this. Always. It doesn't matter if this curses your land. Doesn't matter where we are. This is what we go through. And images, speak volume. So when you read the curses and you look at images, the images speak volume, right? So a lot of time when you read something, but when you actually see the image tells you a lot more than what you read. Because a lot of people, and it's Esau. Esau is in control of things, so that's why Esau always try to block the truth. Always black. There's nothing with the images showing. It's just proof. There's nothing wrong with the images, you know. But Esau always had to try to hide the truth. So this is what it is. So this is what it is. This is what it is, right? TikTok, like as I say, TikTok is the worst. Always. TikTok always blocking and then what you're doing, even if it is free speech, right? Even if it is free speech, TikTok is always doing that. Even what you're saying and what you're doing is nothing wrong with what you're discussing. Deuteronomy 28:24. The Lord will make rain. The Lord will make the rain of your land powder, and thus from heaven will it come down upon you until you be destroyed. Until you be destroyed. So it doesn't matter what we do, where we are, we're not prospering. And then if you look out through the world we live in, habitation is the same as the prophecy is the same thing, right? So this is what's happening. We deliver spread HIV in the South Africa. So this is something this is something that they did. They spread HIV and so forth into to our people and then to destroy and kill our people. And then that's the truth. Numerous atrocities against Native Americans span to the hundreds of years from the first arrival of Europeans exploring the modern era. So there's numerous things happen to them. So you can see in the image, this is again by the people that does it, that created this image to show you what they did to the people. So those are fact, those are history. Those are fact, those are history. Those are fact and those are history. And then you can always, because the source, I always give you the source. You can always go and click on the source and then go to the source and read it. That is how many 1,641. That is how many known fatal shooting. The known one. There's probably thousand more that's not known. They're been by police of unarmed black men in the country between 2013 2019. Illinois went in the top third. Allegedly armed cases are situation in which police arrested the victim had a gun, but no conclusion evidence was found to the effect. Here are the name and circumstances. Again, it's Esau, so-called white people that don't want to hear the truth. You know, they report the channel, and then TikTok. I don't know why TikTok does that. You know, only TikTok that does it. No other channel does it that way. You know, I never get my live on YouTube to get shut down or anything like that. Even YouTube is not really pushing it, but on YouTube I never get my live shut down. And I've been using YouTube, I don't know for how many years. Forever I've been using YouTube. And then I've been doing this for like a little bit over 4 or 5 years since I've been in the truth. And YouTube have not never, but it seems like with TikTok all the time. TikTok is the most control platform than any other platform. TikTok is extremely controlled. Um, if you're not on TikTok, you talking negatively, you doing stupid thing on TikTok, you know, then it's like they're not pushing things that are positive. So they're allowing people to report the channel, and in the moment someone report the channel, and then they, without even reviewing and seeing what you're doing, they'll disconnect it. So my life will just got caught up, and then I had to appeal it. Right? I again, you have to understand that white people don't want the truth and they want you to talk about the truth. It is the history. These are facts. These are facts. This thing happens. These are facts. It has to be talked about. Has to be people have to be aware of these facts. Those are facts. Those are facts, and then I give you the like when I talk about something, whether it's the Bible, I give you the scripture. If it is history, I give you the source. So it's not like I'm talking about what's not fact. It says 1,641. That is how many known federal shooting there have been by police. Knowing there's a lot of knowing one of unblack unarmed black men in the country between 2013 and 2019. That's a fact. And then I give you the link. So you can click on the link and then go read it. You can go click on the link and go read it. But this is nothing based on what that number is nothing compared to the unarmed people that have been killed and shot that has not been reported, right? And then we are the age of technologies because we're in the age of technology now. We finding out about these things. Before the police has like camera, they had to wear camera, and then before cell phone, everybody has a cell phone. This thing was happening even worse. This thing was happening even worse. But now, because I'm aligning it with the Bible history, that's where the problem lies. It's not because I'm talking about these facts. It's because I'm aligning these facts with Bible prophecies. That these things are happening. That's not just happening just because they hate us. They're happening because God ordained it to happen. To prove to you, these people are God chosen people. That's the problem. That's the problem why white people don't want to see this. That's the white problem. The government don't want to see this. Nobody want to see this. Nobody want. This is why the Hebrew Israelites are the most hated people. Even we never kill anybody. We don't do harms. We just preach Bible. But remember that the Bible is a two-edged sword. Some is gonna save. Some is gonna kill. It's a two-edged sword. So it's there to save and to kill. So some people gonna like what they hear from the Bible. Some people not gonna like what they hear from the Bible because it doesn't align with the belief. It doesn't align with who they are. It doesn't align with them. So of course, a lot of people not gonna hear what they hear from the Bible. So when you make connecting the dot, it's just like when I go to Nixon Library website. This is an official document signed by the President of the United States in 1969, signed by Nixon. You can see the signature on this official document in this official government website, nixonlibrary.gov. And then you go to that same document signed by the President of the United States, an official document. And that same document, it tells you that the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. This is why they cut my line. And then I had to appeal it. And then all praises to the Most High God, they re they re-allow me or reinstate and give me the opportunity to go live again. Because then once they review what I was doing was not misinformation, once they review what I was doing in the video was not misinformation, they allow the channel again to go live. Because this is not misinformation. This is an actual official document from the United States of America signed by the President of the United States that tells you that the Igbo are the wandering Jews of West Africa, not the fake Jews in Jerusalem that call themselves Israeli. So now when I read this document, then I go to Wikipedia and it shows that the Igbo were dispersed to Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, the United States. The same Igbos that are the wandering Jews of West Africa, they were dispersed. So now I prove that, okay, the slave people that in these islands, in these countries, are Jews. And then now I go and connecting the dot with the prophecy of Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm using now the Bible to prove that what the government of the United States have known and accepted, aligned with the Bible, aligned with history, aligned with what's happened to so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people, so-called Native Indian people. So you don't like that. So you gotta report my channel and got my live cut off, and then I had to appeal it. And then now to restore, once they review it, they see I'm not giving people misinformation. Because it is true. And then every time, again, every information that I brought, I have a link, I have a source. Because God say, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. On top, you'll see that this is exactly paragraph. And in that paragraph, you can go to 2001-2009.state.gov So it's an official website. That document is there. And then also you can go to nixonlibrary.gov. That document is also there too. And I give you the source. You can do everything I put on the site, I give you where it came from. So it's not, I'm not just saying thing. Again, First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. So if I say something, I have to prove it, right? If I talk about something, I have to have the source of it, right? So prove all things, hold fast that which is good. So this is the reason why I posted online and I'm talking about it, I'm proving it. I talk about the real people of Israel with the real Jews, what they look like in 1925 in Jerusalem. This video was recorded in 1920. This video was recorded in 1920, before 1948, where the Backlaw Declaration, which the Jewish people was established in Jerusalem in 1948, by the United Nations, and then also the support of the United States to establish them in Jerusalem as Jewish or Israeli. But if you look prior to that, you see the kind of people that lives in there. So I'm giving you history to show you what kind of people that was living in Jerusalem. I'm connecting the dot, and people don't like that. People don't like that. So you gotta report my channel, and you gotta report and get my live cut off. So now they restore it. Why? Because everything I'm showing you is fact. You cannot tell me the video is not true because you're looking at the video. You can go to my channel on TikTok and then you see this video in there. Why? Because they don't want the truth to be out. They don't want people to see the truth, to see what kind of people that was living in Jerusalem before 1948. They don't look like the Palestinian people that the Jewish people are destroying. They don't look like the Jewish people. But you're gonna see who they look like. You're gonna see who they look like. You're gonna see who they look like. Look right here. You see this young girl with woolly hair, dark skin, woolly hair, dark skin. Remember Revelation chapter 1, verse 13 to 15. His hair was white like wool, woolly hair. His feet has into fine brass as it was born in the furnace. Christ was so dark, it looked like his skin was born in the furnace. So it matches the people that was living in Jerusalem before 1948. It matches these people. Wait till you see some of the other women. These are children. Look at these women. Look at how they dress. These are the kind of truth they don't want out. This was 1920. This video was recorded in 1920. Look at these women. Look at the kind of dress they're wearing. The same people in West Africa, that's how they dress. The women in West Africa, the Igbos, that the United States nation, and this is a signed document by President Nixon in 1969 that said the Igbos are the wandering Jews of West Africa, gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best, envied by and resented, but mostly despised by the mass of their neighbors. This is an official document signed by the President of the United States. This is on an official website. You can go to nixonlibrary.gov, type Igbos. You'll find the document. So now when I'm showing you videos that align with the same people in West Africa, it looks like the people that was living in Jerusalem in 1920, because that's when the video was recorded in 1920. You see these women, they look like the people in West Africa. They dress like the people in West Africa. Look at the pattern of the dress, the way the dresses are. Only people that dress like that, they live in West Africa. Only people that dress like that lives in West Africa. And then you can see the beautiful woolly hair. The beautiful woolly hair. Look at the jewelry, the type of jewelry they wear. This was 1920. And then you go to 2025, you go to West Africa, you still see women dressing like that. You will continue to see women in West Africa dressed like that. And then the same West African people, the Igbos, enslaved Igbo were dispersed to Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Haiti, the United States. United States. So the same people that the United States of America, before 1948, or a little bit after, the government of the United States agree and sign an official document and say these people are the wandering Jews. It doesn't say some of or maybe. It says they are the wandering Jews of West Africa. So now you can see that why people will report my live and get it this book, because when you're connecting dots, when you bring in proof, you're not only bringing video, picture, Bible, you're bringing everything, you're connecting everything, you're connecting the dots. You're connecting the dot because if the children of Israel will call the 12 tribe of Israel, if they know who they are, they repented. Man, it's the most dangerous thing for the world. The most dangerous thing is for the people of God, the 12 tribe, to wake up and repent. It's the 12 tribe to wake up and repent. Because once the 12 tribe wake up and repent, this is the end. That's the end for them. Their rulership is over. Remember, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the next that follow. So the kingdom is ending. Jacob's kingdom is coming forever, and then it will never be given to another nation. Our kingdom will never be given to another nation because it's going to be ruled by Christ. And under Christ, we're going to keep the commandments. We're not going to go away from God anymore. You can see these people in Jerusalem, 1920, this video was recorded. They look like people in West Africa. They dress the same way the people in West Africa dress. So what happened to these people who was living in Jerusalem? You will see that. Let the video. Look at this woman. Look at her beautiful. Look at her beautiful woolly hair, just like Christ. Just like Christ. This is Jerusalem, 1920. Look at the pattern of the dress. Same people in West Africa. Look at the pattern of the dress. This is before 1948 when the Jewish people took over. God chosen people. Jerusalem. This is Jerusalem. Before the Jewish people, before they come and pollute the land, before they polluted the land. Now the land has been polluted. Now they keep out even worse because there's war in the land. There a lot of blood is being shed in the land right now. They pollute in the land. They do gay parade, all kind of things in the land right now. Look at this. This is Jerusalem. You don't see the kind of people that live in the land is not the same kind of people that was in Jerusalem in 1920. You see the land had full of people. This video is in my channel. So if you click on my channel, you'll find this video. The title on it is Isaiah 29:22. So if you want to see it and hear the sound of that video, because I'm playing it on TikTok right now on my channel. If you want to see it and then you want to archive it for yourself, so you have it approved, you can do it. This video, I saw it. It was IUIC that was showing it, and I was like, I need to find that video. I need to find the source of that video. But because I'm a search engine optimization specialist, app developer and so forth. So I know computer very well. So I build and fix computers and so forth. So if the information now is there, I'll find it. If the information is there, I will find it. So I was able to find the video by just seeing the video. I was able to find the source of the video and then where it's archived. So there's a lot of video like that that are archived in that specific website. So you find all kind of proof on that in history in that website. So this video was actually recorded in 1920, as I mentioned, 1920. So in 1920, before 1948, when the Jewish people took over the land. So this is what they don't want to hear. But all praises to the Most High God. This God will every secret, every dark secret. It doesn't matter how it's done; it will come to light. in these last days. So it doesn't matter what evil the Jewish people are doing, the government, whoever you are, is gonna come out. It's not gonna be by me, but it's gonna be by the way God ordained it to be, right? So all secret will come out. It doesn't matter. Everybody's secret, everything that's happening. Don't worry. It's just time. Give it time. It will come out. You'll find out the truth. You'll find out the Jewish people, the whole world will know that the Jewish people are not the world chosen people of God. Right now, it's only some people that knows that, but the whole world will find out who the true chosen people of God. Everything that had happened, the whole world will find out. Because it's Bible prophecy. So now let's go back to Bible prophecy. Let's go back to Bible prophecy. Where I was before my life got cut off, before they cut off my life. This is where I was before. This is what I was talking about before the life got cut off. Before the life got cut off, this is what I was talking about here. This was a prophecy. So this is part of prophecy that's happening to God choosing people. Deuteronomy chapter 28. That's part of the prophecy that's happening to God people. Right? So white people give black men syphilis on purpose. Syphilis on purpose. And then you can go read that. As I say, you can go read it. This is the source of it. This is the website. This is history. This is something people know. This is facts. So this is not misinformation, it's facts. Where the government chose to give black men syphilis. So that's fact. So this is you can research it yourself. You find out that that was fact, right? They deceived people. They observed the nature, I mean, the natural history of untreated syphilis in black population, but the subject were completely unaware. So the subject, which has been the people, the black men, they were completely unaware. They were instead told they will receive treatment for bad blood, when in fact they received no treatment at all with syphilis that was given. Um, so that's a fact. Deuteronomy 28, 20, chapter 28, 21 to 22. The Lord will make the pestilence cleave unto you until you have consumed you from off the land, whither you go after possesses. The Lord will smite you with consumption, with fever, with inflammation, with extreme burning, with the sword, with the fasting, with mildew. They will pursue you until you perish. And your heaven that is over you, your head, will be brass, and the earth will that is under you will be iron. So this is the thing, that's so meaning that you know um you're gonna have a high rate, a very very high rate of disease in your community. You're gonna be have a very high rate of disease in your community. You're gonna have a high rate of poverty in your community. You're gonna be always begging, protesting for peace and so forth. That's true, right? We deliberately spread HIV in South Africa, but it was not just Africa, it was around the world in every black communities. So that was something that happened, and then I give the source of it. This is the source of it. Afro punk. So if you go to afropunk.com, that's where you read the source of it, right? So they deliberately gave the so-called black people HIV. So those are sources. These things, again, as the prophecies say, this thing is gonna happen to you. You everything you do, you're not gonna be prospering, right? The way we live, and these things are done. Your resources is taken away from you. Your education is taken away from you. Instead, they give you religion. These things are happen. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 24. The Lord will make the rain of your land powder and dust. From heaven will it come down upon you until you destroy it. So it doesn't matter. Your land, meaning that it's going to be very dry. Your land is not going to be prosper. So it's not going to bear both food. So whatever you do, you're not going to get enough rain. And when you do get rain, it's too much, and then it kill your farming, right? And and then here, this is what happened to the native Indian. Numerous atrocity against Native Americans spent the hundred of years from the first arrival of European explorers to the modern era. Even now, this is the thing that they did to us, the native, and then they still destroying the native Indian, right? And then if you're gonna go with tribunal 1965.org, go to tribunal 1965.org. And then this is the during the slave trade, where these people were casting some of us in the sea, killing us. So they say that millions upon millions of us that died
in the voyage, from West Africa to the United States or to where we were going. Again, uh, prophecy is fulfilling 1641. That is not. That is how many known federal children there have been by police of unarmed black men in history between 2013 2019. Illinois went on the top of allegedly armed cases are situated situation in which police arrest the victim had a gun, but no conclusive evidence was found to the effect. Here are the names of the circumstances. So you go to this website and you'll be able to find and read more information on this, right? You go to this website. So again, whatever I post, I give you the source of it. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 25. 28, 25. The Lord will cause you to be smitten before the enemies. You will go out one way against them, and you will flee away before them, and will be removed unto all kingdoms of the earth. And this is what's happening right now, especially right now. So people remember this history. I mean, if you remember this history, so even when we try to separate ourselves from them and build our own thing, right? We had our own economy, our own wealth, right? We had our own school, our own educational system, our own banking system. So we had everything that we were doing everything on our own, and we were prospering. We were very successful and prospering. So this is what happened to it. Look, you see what happened to it? It turned into ashes. So I don't know if you remember this history. Red Summer, when white massacre the blacks. So you can go read this history in this website right here. You can go read this history. Black Tulsa. So this is crazy. So even when we separate ourselves, when we don't want to have anything to them, they still won't leave us alone. They still will not leave us alone. So again, it's Bible prophecy. Again, here again, Red Summer. They drop a bomb. They drop multiple bombs. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. A wave of racial violence destroyed and influenced African American communities. So this is again destroy our community. Again, this is history. This is not misinformation. Again, I gave the link where you can go read the source. This I'm not gonna show because there will be in the channel for showing this thing. Even though it's fact, I'm just gonna skip it very quick, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28, 26, verse 26 to 27. And the carcass will be meat unto all the fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man will fray them away. The Lord will smite you with the batch of Egypt, and with the emerald, with the scab, and with the itch, wherefore you cannot be healed. It's like diabetes, cancers, syphilis that they give you, HIV that they give you that cannot be healed, all these diseases. When God says something, He does it. Nothing turn back to God, right? Nothing go back to God void. Everything is done. So when God said that, look, if you read the words, I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it, but I don't know if you're able to see it. Some of the word on this thing is just crazy, right? But this is all history. This is what this is what happened to us. This is history. Control, death of a nation, right? Control. As African Americans grew more aware of the history in 1960s, they became increasingly suspicious of government-sponsored birth control and the pill. And you can go to this website with pbs.gov, but that's not true. They then increasingly become our black women are killing their babies more than ever. So this birth control things to control the both of the black, Hispanic, and the Native American, just like in Egypt time when Pharaoh rose and said these people is gonna be more than we, and then we had to find a way to control them. It's the same modern Egypt now. It's the same thing they're doing. They're using abortion as a way of controlling the birth of black community, right? And then so the women, and they encourage them and they reward them for killing their babies, again as a way of them controlling us, so we don't become modern day, even though we are modern day, but we don't overpopulate them when they're no longer able to control us. So it's the same thing that Egypt did. Is the same thing the this modern spiritual Egypt is doing. Again, you gotta read the Willie Lynch letter. You gotta read the Willie Lynch letter. So you have history upon history. For example, if you take a slave, if you teach them, if you teach him all about your language, which is what they did, so to destroy us, he will know all your secret, and he will then no more a slave. For you can't fool him anymore. This is what's happened now. They cannot fool us anymore because we know your language, we can read. And being a foolish, no, being a fool is one of the basic ingredients of any incident and the maintenance of the slavery system. So they still call us stupid. Exactly, that's what he said. Keep them stupid. Keep them stupid. So don't educate them. Don't teach them your language. Keep them stupid, right? So don't teach them how to read, right? Because if they don't know how to read, you no longer can fool us. And this is what's happened. You no longer can fool us. And then you can go read this in finalcall.com. Finalcall.com. Again, racial against black people in Europe widespread in trends. So again, you can go with this with the BBC. So BBC is a well-known channel; people knows of it. The oppress of black community in America continue in 2020s. 2025 it continues, right? Newrecords.org, you can go read about that. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28, 29. The Lord will smite you with madness and blindness in a furnish of heart, and you will grope at noonday as the blind grope in darkness, and you will not prosper in your ways, and you will be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man will save you. So no man can save you. So that's why you see that in our community. This is happening. Mass killing of black slave, overcome mental health. So let's see. This is I'll show you after. 13.4% of the U.S. population identify as Black or African American, right, with mental issue. Uh, of those, over 16 reporting having mental illness in the past year. That is 7 or more million people with madness, more people than the population of Chicago, Houston, and Philadelphia. Nine. Wow. And then this is the source of it. So I give you the source of it so you can go read it. Black and African American people living below poverty are twice as likely to report serious psychology distress than those living over 2 times the poverty level. And this is why. This is why. Look at them. Because we're always asking for justice. Look at the blood on the floor. The brother feels like so distressed. He's laying on the floor. Look at the blood is holding it. He just can't hold it. He's hurt. He's mentally distressed. He's very hurt. Look at the people. Look at the faces. But they don't know that they're doing that to themselves. By continue to sin, by continue to break the commandments of God, you're doing that. God is killing you. God is doing that to you. God is doing, God giving you unjust system, unjust government, unjust oppressors, unjust leaders. So for you to be like that, always, we doing that to ourselves by not keeping the commandments of God. Research suggests that adult black community is 20% more likely to experience serious mental health problems such as major distress disorder or generalized anxiety disorder. Additionally, black emergent adult aged 18 to 25 also experience higher rates of mental health problems and lower rates of mental health service utilization compared to white emergent adult. So, and again, As I said, revolting hold fast that which is good. You can go read it right here. You can go read it in this website right here. Everything I posted has a link. Everything I posted has a link. You can go read it right here. This thing happened to our women where the slave. This is a movie, but this is true. Where the slave master used to take our women and sleep with them right in front of one in front of the men. Colored women had to go through a plenty sexual exploitation. You can go read it in this website right here. And then again, this is the husband, this is the wife, and this is where the slave master came beating the husband, and then one of them take the wife and sleep with them. So this is what happened in history. Women used to be taken away from their husband for sex. When France exalted Haiti, the greatest height in history, you can go with the information in this website. Deuteronomy 28:30. You will betroth a wife, and another man will lie with her. That's what the images I just showed you to align with this prophecy. You will build a house, and you will not dwell therein. You will plant a vineyard, and you will not gather the grape thereof. So there was an image, but the image is not showing because it no longer exists from the source. I'm making landmark that were built by slave. So you go to the website and then you can find it. So these are things that we built and we don't live in it and we don't control it, right? So I'm showing you. Historian and author Edward E. Baptist explained how slaves helped the U.S. go from a colonial economy to the second biggest industrial power in the world. And then you can go to the website. So we built a White House, and it has a picture of some of the people that was involved of building the White House. But we don't dwell in it, we don't control it. Again, these are children were taken. This is the slave master in action block taking the baby, selling it, and we had no might in our hand to basically take the baby back, right? A mother unleashed a piercing scream as her baby was ripped from her arm during the slave auction, even as a lash cut her back. She refused to put her baby down and climb atop an auction block. Again, the source is right here. You can go read on it. This is what they used to do to us. They used to sell us in slavery. And, again, we had no might in our hand to do anything. So, Deuteronomy chapter 28, 31, 34. There's more. I'm just posting few. There are videos. The video, you can come and click and watch the video yourself. Um, the ox will be slain before your eyes, and you will not eat thereof. Your ass, meaning that's happened in Haiti, even modern day in Africa. In Haiti, when the UN come, the UN missions, every time they come, they take the ox, they take the ass, they take the goat in front of the owner, they eat it in front of the owner, and there's nothing we can do about it. That happening on a lot of the continent of Africa, where the Union mission, where the so-called white people come to this land, where the armies come, they take the animals, they eat it, and there's nothing they can do. Violently take it away from before your face, which is done, and will not be restored to you. So they don't pay the money, they don't give them money for it, and your sheep will be given unto your enemies, and you will have none to rescue. There's no one to come and rescue it or to fight for us. Even in Haiti, even if they go complain to the government don't do anything, can do anything because the government is controlled by the same people. Your son and your daughter will be given unto other people, which we saw in the video, and your eyes will be looked and filled with longing for them all day long, meaning that they're gonna take your children. There's nothing which is happening right now, with child welfare. When they come, they take your children, and then there's nothing you can do about it, right? They come and take your children, there's nothing you can do about it. No might in your hand. The fruit of your land and all your labor will a nation which you know have not either. And you will be only oppressed and cursed always, so that you will be mad for the sight of your eyes which you have seen. So everything you do, this is what's happening to us. Everything we do, it will be a curse unto us. When Mr. L was unable to comply with all these demands on her time while maintaining her job, Her children were taken from her and placed in the foster care. That's something we know. You can go and read that here on the pill.com, and you can learn more about that yourself, right? So these are things that happening. Uh, U.S. justice is built to humiliate it and oppress black men, and it starts with chokehold. This is a system that affects black around the world, even Haiti, Jamaica, Bahamas, and other countries with mostly black. So again, you can go to the Guardian.com and read about it. People know who the Guardian is. It's a well-known website, so people can go and read about this, right? Again, this is things that happening. This is true. Images. Police beating black men with the baton. You see what he's doing to those history. Those are history. So I'm gonna stop at Deuteronomy chapter 20, 35, 36 right now because it's been an hour, 2 hours and a half. Yeah, 2 hours and a half. So I stayed long enough. And then so there will be a part three. All praises to the Most High God. My channel was cut off because they reported as misleading information, but it's not misleading information because everything I read to you, I gave you sources, and most of the sources are from popular news channels that people knows of. So, and I give you sources from official website, professional government website, right? Document, show you videos that was recorded in 2020. So there's nothing, there's misinformation about what I'm telling you. All of them are facts. Whether you agree with it or you align with it or you disagree with it, that's up to you. That's your choice, right? But you heathen nation will hate what's coming out, even though all people, because their mind has been destroyed. Our people, their mind it has been destroyed. They're not gonna agree or align with it because their mind is destroyed, right? So this is the one of the reason why. But it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree with it. The fact remains true, right? And I didn't just post this information without giving you the source of the information. I give you and everything I posted, the source of the information is there. Source of the information is there. Why? Because First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21 say, "Prove all things, hold fast that which is good." But opposites to the Most High God, they review on the video of what I was doing, and then they see that it did not go against the policy of TikTok. But again, this have never happened on any other channel I go live on, so only always happened on TikTok. So even if TikTok reinstate the live feature of it, but TikTok still end up cutting my live, and then I had to restart it again. But again, God is on control. God is in control. Even the devil think he's in control, but the devil, Satan, you're not in control. You're not in control. God is in control. All praises to the Most High God in the name of His loving servant Son. You are by Hashem, your how Shai, Almighty Most High God, your how. Let your will be done. Let your will be done. So nothing can stay hidden. Everything must come true. It's not gonna be by me. It's gonna be by their own selves. These journalists and historians and people that the government trusted that whole secrets, they're the one who's gonna bring the secret out. God is gonna use them to bring these secrets out. So all things that has been hidden. So don't worry what you see what's happening with Trump's, what you see what's happening with the Einstein list and so forth. Trump say he's not in the list. People say he's in the list. Don't worry with what Obama have done, what Obama have not done, what every Republican, what every Democrat, what the Jewish people are doing, the secret they're hidden. Don't worry about anything. You will come to know and see the truth. Everything is gonna come out. So if Trump is correct, you're gonna see he was correct. If Trump is wrong, you're gonna see he was wrong. If Obama was right, you're gonna see whatever evil Obama had done, Hillary Clinton, the Clintons, the Democrat, the Republican, the Jewish people, everything they have done, whether it's good or evil, is gonna come out. You're gonna see it. It's gonna come out because this is it's prophesied. Nothing God said is gonna go back void to God. So all the dark secret of this nation is gonna come out. All the dark secret of the government is gonna come out. Everything that the Jewish people have done, every evil thing that they have done is going to come out. Every government, it doesn't matter what country, who. It doesn't matter how powerful the country is, how powerful the government is. As the Bible prophesied, everything that's done in the dark will come to light. Everything that's done in the dark will come to light. If it is not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the day after. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. It's just a matter of time. It's just like Area 51. Area 51 was a conspiracy. When I was growing up, and then when I was talking to people about Area 51, they used to say, "Man, you believe in conspiracy theory. You are a conspiracy theorist. You believe in that thing. That thing doesn't exist." But years later on, the government tell you that yes, it does exist, and there are people that go and record video of it, and then we now know that Area 51 does exist. Like HARP. HARP was a conspiracy theory. Everybody used to believe that HARP was a conspiracy theory. It doesn't exist. It was a government secret. But now everybody knows that HARP does exist. Like UFO sighting. UFO sighting used to be a secret that everybody believed was a conspiracy theory. But recently the government say, yes, there's UFO sighting. So anything that is hiding, anything that's secret, that's hidden, that's done in the dark will come to light. So we see that already happening, and it's going to continue to happen, and it's going to happen in just boom like that. All praises to him. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. All praises to the Most High God again. Uh, uh, until next Sabbath, to all my brothers and sisters who is doing their best to keep the commandments of God and have faith in Yahushai that He's coming back to save us out of this captivity and to put our oppressor under our feet, to restore us to our power, bring us to our land back. May the Most High God keep you, bless you, protect you. Those that have faith and keep the commandments of God. Revelation 14:12. You are the patient of the saint. You are they that keep the commandments of God in the faith of Christ. You are. So who you keeping the commandments of God and have faith in Christ, may you be blessed and be protected because the time to come is going to be very harsh. We have to spiritually prepare yourself, physically prepare yourself, mentally prepare yourself. It's going to be a hard time that's going to come. Again, all praises to the Most of God. Until next time.